What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 35 of the Get Your Game On podcast, bringing you the hottest takes, latest stories, and spicy picks surrounding New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, and Grassani. Join us now around by Michael Cunningham, Reich, and Marcellus Murdock. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at Get Your Game On P. And with all that said, it's time to get your game on. All right, welcome back. How's everyone doing?
Too early. Tired. Good.
Okay. Michael, I can't blame you. All right, let's not beat around the bush here. We got a very special guest joining us today. He's been I would say blowing up recently on Yankees Twitter. He's like produced so much excellent content, and an official colleague of mine at Jersey Sporting News. We are so excited to welcome Yankees minor league beat writer Eli Fishman. Eli, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Let's just start. Let's start with the origins, like with you, Eli. Like, what talk about like your sports journalism career, like how it began and stuff.
Well, I started at Seton University when I was like 12 years old. Going to games and writing up stuff for my website and interviewing players and all that, and eventually grew to minor league baseball. The Somerset Patriots and the Staten Island Yankees. And then everything's just kept growing, gotten a few different gigs covering the Somerset Patriots for Jersey Sporting News. And they're now the Yankees AA affiliate, and just a bunch of cool opportunities. And, now I'm using Twitter a lot to boost everything.
Yeah, definitely. I see like all of the stuff you do, like videos of different prospects, like produce all that content. Like that's awesome. Like I want to talk to you, like, when did you first start like covering the Somerset Patriots?
I was probably 14 years old when I first covered a Patriots game.
Wow, so you've been doing this like for a long time now. I mean, and
yeah,
it's good that you like got started early. Like I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like really fully start like I ain't like fully like start my like career until I was like 18 years old in like my senior year of high school. So good that to see you like getting hitting the ground running early.
Yeah, that was huge. Like getting the early start and being in the business as like a kid.
Yeah, definitely. Alex, Michael, Marcellus, you guys have any questions to ask?
What's your favorite part of covering Yankees minor league?
I would say just all the players that you get to see like before they're stars in the MLB. All the Aaron Judges and every single player in Major League Baseball has to go through the minors first. So every single star has played there. So getting to see the guys like before they're superstars and before they make it.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I mean, not many people like can say I saw like Derek Jeter like when it was just a minor leaguer. So it's pretty cool bragging rights to have. Yeah, now talk about I'm not really a minor league beat writer, but I do like I cover the New Jersey Jackals also for Jersey Sporting News. So talk about like your routine at like a game. Like give us a day in the life of Eli Fishman.
I usually get there about 2.5, 3 hours before the game and watch batting practice for both teams, and then do post-game interview or pre-game interviews. After each team does batting practice, the away team does it second, home team does it first. So it's half hour or it's 45 minutes and then 45 minutes of each team, taking batting practice. And I usually do interviews for both teams, home and away, hang out, edit stuff, send out tweets, write articles for, the hour and hour and 15 minutes before the game where there's just nothing. Enjoy some nice press box food. And then the game goes. I usually sit down in the stands and take a lot of video, take some notes and stuff, try to keep score. And then after the game, we usually do post-game interviews,
Yeah.
usually just with a player, manager, and usually that's just really it. And then I usually the next day write up an article about, the star of the game or whatever the big storyline was, if there is one, or I do a lot of, prospect profiles on guys and, about them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of similar to unfortunately I don't have at the Jackals I don't have like batting practice credentials yet. So I mostly just do like post game interviews. But I have talked to the guys there, and I have been interested in doing some profiles, and similar to you. Like I also like to take a lot of videos of players at the stands. Like sometimes, like normally I sit a lot on the press box, like live tweeting the game. I don't know if you saw any of my tweets, but that's no. I may try to post like videos there, but I mean the one thing that's difficult about posted videos for me is that you gotta like get it at like the exact time. If your finger like hits the record button like 1 second too late, it could like ruin the entire clip. So
Yeah, it's you got to be on it. You got to be on it. You can't be doing anything else.
exactly, and with how much you're doing at one time, like it can be like a difficult part like of the job. Like as a beat writer, you gotta be like locked on as as like 24 like as often as possible.
Yeah, it can be tough, and you miss a lot of things also.
Yeah. I remember one time I had just finished like recording like a previous clip of like someone from the Jackals getting his first say as a Jackal, and then as I'm like saving that video, like I miss like another player from the Jackals, hitting his second like homer as a Jackal. So like
Yeah, that happens a lot,
yeah.
like a ton. I missed 2 home runs by the same guy at a game yesterday because I was editing other videos.
Exactly. Like part of it, like obviously like I feel like luck is a little bit part of it, but another big part of it is like just being locked in. If you can stay like locked in, like you'll be able to get like some great shots.
Yeah.
I remember like I want to go like too deep into this, but I don't know if you saw like the brawl that was at the Jackals and the Miners game. I don't know if you heard about that. Like I remember getting part of that, and Pix 11 like asked him asked me if they could use permission to share a clip. And I'm like, go ahead, and bam, I was on Pix 11.
Nice.
Not literally, like you couldn't see my face, but they credited me for the video. So, I mean, now I wanted to talk. I mean, is there anything else you want to say about covering my league baseball? I mean, like any of the other experiences that you may want to say? Get out now.
Um, I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy all of it, and every day at the ballpark. And
Yeah.
I'm going to school in a week, so I wish I could have a little bit more time to do it. So that stinks. But yeah.
Yeah, talk about the following that you've built up now on Twitter, because I remember I first started following you because I remember I saw some of your articles that just spoilers. I'm like, I like what this guy like produces. I gave him a follow, and then all of a sudden you're I believe you have like what? Let me check. Over 5,000 followers now on Twitter. So what's it like to build up this kind of brand?
It's nice. It's been a lot of fun. The coolest thing is, some of the people that have followed me, like David Cohn, and Jack Curry, and some of those guys, and a lot of players and coaches in the Yankees organization too. So yeah, it's been super cool. And it also goes to show, if you put out the right things, if you work hard, then good things are going to come, and the followers are going to come too if you put out the right content.
Yeah, definitely. So now, Eli, is we're gonna put you on a hot seat. We're gonna ask you to put your baseball scouting glasses on, like, because I want to ask you, like, I'm not too in depth with the Yankees minor league system, but I do like to keep track of. So I'm gonna ask you like about different players that you've seen, these players that you posted. I mean, honestly, let's get the big one out of the way. The Martian, Jason Dominguez, all the hype surrounding him on the Yankees side. People have compared him to Mike Trout, Mickey Mantle. I want to ask you, when you watch him, do you believe that? I'm not saying like whether I'm not asking you to predict whether or not he's going to turn out to be that great of a player, but do you think he can become like a superstar in like the major leagues?
Yeah, I think he 100% can. The talent is definitely there, all around. Like, he's a special player. You can see why they call him the Martian. He's 18 years old. He's absolutely shredded, or he's like built, like wide. Like he looks like, an NFL running back in terms of just like how his muscle is, and how he's built. And he throws the ball very far, hits the ball very far. The ball just sounds different coming off of his bat. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I do think the comparisons to Mickey Mantle and Mike Trout are absolutely ridiculous and stupid, but he's going to be a great ball player one day. And tough to say if he's ever going to be any of those guys, if he's even going to be an MLB All-Star, but he's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I remember like hearing like those comparisons and obviously like those also like I have been watching this for obviously like I've been watching like players for a decade, but I still think like comparing like a young kid like a 16 or 17-year-old guys that can't even legally drink yet, I feel like comparing them to like some of the greatest players we've ever seen. I do think that is like putting too much pressure like on like a young kid.
Yeah, and you got to worry about also like his mental state too. When you're 18 years old and he's been getting these comparisons since he was 15 years old.
Yeah.
That must be a lot of pressure to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even imagine like if I'm 15 years old and like some saying, hey, we expect you to be the next Mickey Mouse. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's another guy. I mean, do you have anything left to say about Dominguez?
No, he's just a lot of fun to watch, and Yankees fans are gonna be watching him for a long time.
Yeah. I've also got to ask you about a guy that, by the way, I was thrilled when the Yankees selected them because I I have a soft spot for Jersey boys who grew up rooting for the Yankees getting drafted by Yankees. You know where I'm going with this. Anthony Volpe. I mean, the guy has just been tearing up in the minors league this year. I mean, what are your thoughts on him? Because number one, I'm so happy to see the kid doing well, as I mentioned. But what are your impressions about Volpe?
He's insanely talented. He's up there with Dominguez in terms of how good he is. I wouldn't. It's hard to say he's better because they're in different levels and different ages and everything. But Volpe is insanely good, and he's a little dude. He's like 5'11", can't be 180, and he hits the ball insanely hard and insanely far. He just gets contact, with every swing. He's got a beautiful swing, and it's so little and smooth. He's insanely fast on the bases, plays an insane shortstop. And he's another guy that's going to be really special. And Yankees fans have a lot to look forward to. He's the shortstop of the future, or at least maybe second base, middle infielder of the future for the Yankees.
Wow, bold take here by Eli. I mean, but I do like it. Like I said, I would love this. I can't wait to see Volpe in franchise if he ever does make it. Which, as right now we have Yankee fans that have reason to be optimistic about that. And I want to go back to what you mentioned before, how baseball is that kind of sport where you can have like mostly like when you think of guys that hit the ball hard, you think of your Aaron Judges, you think of your Joe Carlsons, like these big muscle dudes. But baseball is that type of sport. A guy like with like my type of body frame can still consistently make good contact and still hit the ball hard. That's what's baseball for you.
Yeah, it's all about your swing. Like if you have a really good swing, even if you're not insanely strong. If just the way that the bat moves and the way that the bat hits the ball is right, the ball is going to go very far. And if your mechanics are right and you get your lower body into it, then it's insane that he can be 5'11" and be so little, and be able to hit a ball like 440 feet. So yeah, and that's another thing about baseball. It's all about like the mechanics and the little things, and not necessarily about being the biggest person.
I mean, are there any other guys that you that have caught your eye so far? I mean, there's guys like Oswald Peralta. I mean, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right. I mean, obviously Deivi Garcia. I mean, I don't know if you've gotten a chance to watch him because he's in Scranton, but I mean, and he has animation, but give me other guys that have like caught your attention.
Yeah, definitely Peraza. He's a great ball player. It's for Davey Garcia. I did see him in Scranton, and he's had a really tough time this year. A few other guys are Brandon Lockridge in Somerset. Josh Bro was also just promoted to Somerset. He's a catcher. He's insanely good. Stephen Ridings, who was just called up, started the year in Somerset. Greg Weissert, who's another pitcher. There's a lot of guys that catch your eye. They're professional ball players. They're insanely talented. And Dermis Garcia, who plays for Somerset, has 22 home runs this season, which is I think it might be top 5 in all of baseball, all of minor league baseball.
Wow.
So he's a serious power hitter. He hit 2 home runs last night. So he's another guy that has been really fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also there's one more name I mentioned. Austin Wells. I've heard stuff from him, and I like him too.
Yeah, he's really good. His bat is insanely good. The defense needs some work.
Yeah, I've heard there's some questions about his defense. Yeah,
but offensively, he's going to be a big league player, 100%.
Yeah. And if that's the case, I mean, as a Yankees fan, I mean, I scream about how much we need like left-handed bats. So I mean, I would gladly take that. I mean, before also, I want to ask you now about like the MLB trade line. I want to talk about like the major leagues for a bit. Like you've been watching like all like pretty much most of these prospects, and you've been keeping tabs on them. So how do you feel that knowing like the type of players that the Yankees gave up to bring in, Joey Gallo and bring in Anthony Rizzo? How do you feel like Brian Cashman made out the trade deadline?
I think he did really well. The prospects that he gave up weren't, stars by any means. They weren't guys who were going to be big league stars, I think. Obviously some great players, but you got Anthony Rizzo, Joey Gallo, and Andrew Heaney, who's a solid big league pitcher, 2 MLB All-Stars in Rizzo and Gallo. They're stars. Rizzo's a World Series champion. That brings so much to the table for 12 prospects who some of them may never see MLB lights. So I think Brian Cashman did an amazing job at the deadline. Yankees got some amazing ball players.
Yeah, I agree too. Especially like again, I'm gonna go back to how much I wanted the Yankees to add more left-handed bats. You add 2 of them in Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo, and you hold on to like pretty much all your top prospects. Like, here's the thing: if the Yankees had given up like Dominguez or Volpe one of those years, I would have been livid. Like, cause
they wouldn't.
I agree. Like, because Brian Cashman once said, like, please, when talking about like trading, like, obviously it's 2 very different comparisons, but Brian Cashman once said like when concerning trading Gleyber Torres, he's like, please, I gotta walk around the city back in 2018. I mean, but I'm like kind of like getting off track here. I mean, but like I agree. I think Dominguez and Volpe right now are the 2 untouchables in the Yankee system, unless like you're getting like either like Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani. Like I don't see like the Yankees trading either of those 2.
Yeah, I don't think either of them go under any circumstance, unless as you said, it's an insane deal. There was MLB Network put up a graphic that was like Byron Buxton for Jason Dominguez. And all the Yankees fans said no way. I thought that was pretty interesting because you're trading an 18-year-old kid who you never know how he's going to turn out for an MLB All-Star and one of the best players in the MLB.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting thing to think about.
and there's no such thing as an untouchable prospect. I don't think there's such thing as an untouchable prospect, but there are prospects that like because this thing when we label untouchable, it's obviously like within reason because we all know like the Angels aren't going to trade Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout, and the Mets in all likelihood aren't going to trade Jacob DeGrom. So but yeah,
Yeah.
it's in those like kind of lights. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. Before does anyone else? I'm gonna open the floor to the rest of you guys. Alex, Michael, Marcellus. I mean, if you guys have anything you want to chat with Eli, like just go ahead. The floor is up. Is yours.
What made you want to get into like journalism, bro?
I would say that's a good question. Just the platform that, like journalists have and the announcers and broadcasters and everything that they have in sharing their opinions and, sharing news and breaking things and getting their name out there. And I especially want to be a broadcaster, the play-by-play man. So that job, you can share your opinions, you can share your personality on television, break the news. You're like the voice that binds the game to the people at home. And I've always just really wanted to do that.
So, dude, does it give you like? I'm trying to think about how to say it. So, like when you do it, like the whole process, like, is it just you speaking freely? Like, do you feel like it's you speaking freely, or like sometimes you might, I'm trying to go with that. I'm trying to think of how to word it.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with like, doing something like this and podcasts and those kind of things. And just like the, sideline reports that I do for Twitter and the interviews, it's just like, yeah, an opportunity to speak freely. And, with the broadcasts, sometimes you're talking there by yourself. Like it's just you don't have a partner or anything. And you're just sitting basically talking to yourself for 3 straight hours about a baseball game that's going on. And it really gives you an opportunity to like, think, look around, talk, just speak your mind and go back and forth with yourself and things like that.
Do you have any other questions for Eli? Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Okay. What's a typical day for you as a writer?
A typical day is
I'm pretty sure I already asked that question earlier, Alex. But if you want, you can go ahead, Eli.
I typically wake up, either write or edit video from the day before, a normal morning, and then I go to the ballpark at around 3:00, 4:00 for a 7:00 game. And yeah, as I said, like, watch batting practice, interview players before the game, hang out, eat a lot of good food in Somerset at the press box. There's always some really good food. And then, watch the game, take some videos, do some post-game interviews. So that's it in the day of the life.
This came to my mind. Eli, like, because I'm sure, like, with how like much of a grind being a beat writer is, like, I noticed myself, like, does it ever get like stressful at times? And if it does, like, how do you like manage that stress? Because I can case of personal experience. Yeah, it does stress me out at times. But
yes, it can be very, very stressful. Twitter has done a great job this year of like managing that stress, because a lot of it is like getting stuff out, like wanting to get a article out in time or wanting to finish something quickly, or worrying you're going to miss something. And Twitter has done a good job of branching me to my audience for my articles, and allowing me to, share what is stressing me out on Twitter. Like it's usually if it's an article about a player, then I can share thoughts. If it's about getting quotes, social media has done a great job of connecting me to people. And also, in Somerset, especially the media relations department there does a really good job of helping stuff out. Like, as I said, the problem is always, wanting to get interviews with the right people, wanting to get quotes from specific people. They do a really good job of doing that.
I mean, yeah, talk about like I forgot to ask this. Talk about like what is like talking to players and coaches, because that's honestly like when I first became when I first started covering like the Jackals, and when I first like started doing sports journalism, like that was the part that kind of like stressed me out, obviously because that's the part that kind of like you get a little nervous like at times going to interviews. Now honestly it's become like one of my favorite parts of the business, like getting to talk to the players, getting to know the players. It's become like a really fun part of the job. So I want to ask you your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, getting to talk to players. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking at time, but for the most part, for me, it's just a conversation, and it's pretty normal. I keep a log actually of all the interviews I do, and so I've done close to 600 interviews with professional athletes. So it's really just kind of a normal thing.
I'm about to
really
check
nothing.
up my iLog. I mean, I don't know. I've lost. I mean, I don't know how much I've done, but I mean, I can tell you one thing: it's nowhere near 600. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a lot.
I just thought of this question. I don't know, and I don't know if we haven't. I mean, Eli, do you mind if I ask it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What are your thoughts on because it just came to my mind. What are your thoughts on the controversy with how like the treatment of like minor league baseball players? Because I know that the conditions for minor league baseball players like aren't ideal. I believe I heard this one story of what was it, the Texas Rangers affiliate? They all had to sleep in like a lobby in the hotel. But I mean, just what are your thoughts? Like have you talked to like some of the players about it? If you do, just give me your thoughts.
Yeah, it's a really crappy situation all throughout minor league baseball. What you were talking about with the lobby, what teams do is to save money, they'll rent out the ballrooms at hotels, because it's obviously can be cheaper than 20, 30 hotel rooms. So what they'll do is they'll rent out ballrooms, and the players sleep on the floor all throughout the ballroom.
I mean,
so it's like that, and that's all throughout minor league baseball. There's some teams where guys have to find their own housing and they don't have money. Some guys live out of their cars. The food isn't great. The pay obviously is not great at all. So it's a really crappy situation, and I really hope that Major League Baseball can step in and help fix it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, I say these are I could maybe these are most of these guys that own major league teams are like multi-billion-dollar owners. Like they should be able to pay for better conditions for their minor league players.
Yeah, they just choose not to. They can.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, and again, like you said, a very crappy situation all around. But I mean, we're running way past the clock time because we got a lot of stuff to do. But one last question for you: we do a betting segment at the end of every episode, so I'm going to put you on the spot here. Give me one sports bet that you like. Just like it could be anything. It could be the Olympics. It could be Major League Baseball. It could be anything. As long as it's like in like the coming days.
In the coming days, I would put money on Team USA for baseball. I paid a little bit of attention to that. This morning they made it to the championship game, and I think it's tomorrow morning. I believe it might be tomorrow night. Because the time difference, obviously.
Right.
So it's either the games are either at 6 a.m.
Saturday.
Oh, it's Sunday?
Saturday.
Oh, Saturday. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to tune into that. I mean,
yes, I'm definitely gonna.
I mean, it's so fun having baseball back at the Olympics. I mean,
yeah, I wish it was staying.
Wait, it's not staying in 2024? Oh man. Well, then I'm definitely gonna have to tune into like that gold medal game
Yeah.
because like yeah, that's definitely gonna be a much watch. I mean, but yeah, any final thoughts? Any final questions like from anyone? I mean, Eli, we thank you for coming out. It was so fun to hear all your stories. I mean, get your insight into all these prospects and really like I mean talk about like minor league baseball because I'll tell you one thing. With me doing my work for the Jackals, like it's given me an appreciation for like minor league baseball because obviously like majors like that gets all the attention and stuff, but minor league baseball is also like in my opinion like it's very fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And thank you for having me. You know, these guys.
Before we let you go, like I want to make sure like tell our audience where they can find you, like on Twitter, like where they can find your articles and all that stuff. Give you an opportunity to plug.
Best place to look is at Eli J Fishman on Twitter. Yeah, I post all the articles I do because I do a bunch of articles for different places. So that's the best place to see where I do all of them and all my thoughts on prospects and videos and all that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but yeah, Eli, we thank you for coming on. I mean, great to hear like of all your insight into like about minor league baseball and I mean all the work you do. And I'm honestly with all the like fame you got, I'm proud to call myself an official colleague of yours at Jersey Sporting News.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you, Eli.
All right.
And don't be a stranger. And hope you have a great one.
All right. Bye, guys. Take care.
All right, that was Eli Fishman, Yankees minor league beat writer. You can find him at Pinstripe Pros, as I mentioned before, Jersey Sporting News, and Proxx1500. I mean, I'll see Eli J. Fishman on Twitter and on Instagram, and you can find out all this stuff at elifishman.com. So, I mean, it was great. I mean, obviously, it was great to have him on. I'm so happy we were able to get Eli on. So, but now we're gonna move on to I mean, Eli kind of spoiled a little bit part of it, so I'm sorry to Alex, but Alex's Olympic storylines. Alex, go ahead.
So the USA men's basketball team beat Australia last night in a easy victory. Team USA outscored Australia 32-10 in the third quarter to turn an upset alert into a blowout, 97-78 to advance to the gold game. And Patty Mills for Australia scored a team high 15 points with 8 assists for Australia. And Dante Exum had 14 points off the bench. Jock Lansdale had 11 points and 6 rebounds. Moving ahead to USA women's soccer, they ended in disappointing fashion to get the bronze medal against Australia and won 4-3. And USA Athene Mu wins gold in 800-meter race, which is a pretty cool thing to know.
I'm sorry there, Alex. I wasn't really paying attention, but
Oh,
okay, but do you have anything more to say? Anything more to say?
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if the USA baseball team can win gold, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can beat Japan, even though they lost to Japan in their previous matchup,
Yeah.
7-6. But it's going to be interesting. I think Tanaka is pitching on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who's starting for USA, but either way, it's going to be a great game to see, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. For that too. I cannot wait for the gold medal game. Not just for
Yeah.
not just for baseball, but also the men's basketball team is heading for the gold medal game too, which in all likelihood they're probably gonna win, but who knows? In all likelihood they're probably gonna win. So I mean, yeah, but are there any other gold medal matches that we have to watch that we have to pay attention to?
I think a gold medal match in the wrestling already happened. And I think USA won that game.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if there's any others.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, we're only only got a couple of days left of the Olympics. I believe the closing ceremony is this Sunday, so I mean, by that point, I think that yeah, so funny. This might be your second to last Olympic storylines because our I believe our next episode the closing ceremony will probably already have taken place. So I mean, but yeah, it's been you can say what you want about the Olympics, all the mismanagement, all the controversy, there's definitely been a lot throughout the years, but I'll tell you what, man, it's still fun to watch. And that's the thing, you can still
Yeah.
enjoy a product while acknowledging that there's dysfunction. I'm a Major League Baseball fan. I know, do you think I like the way Major League Baseball is being run right now? No, I have so many complaints about how Major League Baseball is being run, but I still enjoy it. So I think we so I so that's just one example. But yeah, it's been a really really fun Olympics. I mean, again, because like I said, I remember I would come home from a Jackals game and I'd be tired. I just put the Olympics on. So yeah, do you have anything else to say, Alex?
Nothing really. Just excited to see the last couple of days of the Olympics, and hopefully something big happens with Team USA.
But yeah, Alex, great job. Really, again, that's all we can really say. I mean, Michael right now is still half asleep, so
I'm
Michael,
ready.
I'm gonna ask you, do you still want to do your hot take, Michael?
Yeah, I'm up now.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the segment of the show that is like coffee early in the morning and it takes away all your stress and gets you up and ready in the morning. Mike's hot take. Michael Cunningham, take it away.
Boys, I've been thinking about it for a while. It's been on my mind all day. The Knicks just signed Kemba Walker, baby.
I was gonna get to that. But Michael, go ahead.
I believe that's a good fit for the Knicks because they need a real point guard. Because they can have Kemba Walker play the one, and they can have Derrick Rose come off the bench. Because that's a good pick for them. Honestly, that's going to be a good backcourt between Barrett and Kemba. I think they can play together. And Julius Randle can have a point guard that can play the pick and pop, can play the pick and roll game with him well. That's Kemba Walker. I think that's a good pick. And honestly, giving Randle the max player contract is a pretty good idea for an extension. This is how he played this year. Most improved player, first time All-Star in his career. Yeah, give him that max contract. Honestly, I think we need another star, another offensive star. Hopefully the draft. Yeah, or hopefully we can get it or we get it in free agency. We can go after another big star, like Kawhi. But Kawhi is probably going to stay in LA. But I was only a brother could dream. You know what I mean, boys?
I know. I mean, Kemba Walker. That's a huge sign for the Knicks. That's it.
And Kemba Walker is from New York.
Coming into this free agency, Michael, I'm sure you as a Knicks fan, we're getting a little bit concerned because the Knicks at that point they made decent moves, but they didn't make anything. They didn't make anything special. It was kind of like just a bland, free agency. I mean, you add Kemba Walker. This fills a major position of need for the Knicks. Like when was the last time, Michael, the Knicks had like a truly, top 10, point guard in the NBA? When was the last time that happened?
Oh, I can't even recall.
I think what did who did Frazier play point guard for the Knicks?
Yeah, hold up. Apparently, he signed with OKC.
No, I forget who.
Huh?
Did Walt Frazier play for the Knicks?
Yeah,
point
well,
guard for the
Frazier
Knicks?
played for the name. Yes, he did.
All right, so yeah, but yeah, that was the last time the Knicks had like a really special point guard, and yes, Walt Frazier did play was a point guard. So I mean that's the last time I recall. I mean, maybe I guess kind of Derrick Rose, but even then, it's clearly Derrick Rose at the tail end of his career, and at this point right now, I wouldn't say Derrick Rose is a top 10 point guard in the league. I mean, he's a great player, but I wouldn't say he's a top 10 point guard in the league. Not even close.
Who? What?
Derrick Rose.
What you say about D Rose?
He's not a top 10 point guard in the league.
Yep, you're bugging.
What?
You're bugging. Derrick Rose should still be an all-star, bro. What games were you watching this year?
He was great, but I don't know if he's a top 10. I don't know if he's top 10. Here's the thing,
You lucky my younger brother, who is a huge Derrick Rose fan, ain't on this call right now. He would have gave you hell at him.
Kemba Walker is here's the thing. Kemba Walker is a legit top 10 point guard in the league. I don't know if I can say the same about Derrick Rose.
Watch it, Adam. That's my dude right there. Watch it, Adam.
Right now, obviously, before he tore his ACL, he was clear, you can make the case he was the best point guard in the league. But right now, at this point in his career, I'm sorry, he's not.
All right, he's better than Ben Simmons. That's all you need to know.
Even as Ben Simmons critic, I'm not sure if I could say that. Obviously there's Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, Trae Young, De'Aaron Fox, Morant. There's so many. I'm sorry, Michael. Derrick Rose at this point is great. Isn't even close to a top 10 point guard.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker. Who would you rather have, Kemba Walker or Derrick Rose?
Honestly, I'll have them both. Shit, they're both great.
You can have both, but who's better?
Honestly, for clutch genes, I gotta say Derrick Rose, but overall game, Kemba Walker.
Okay. Marcellus, Alex, do you want to chime in here? Please tell me that Michael Ayers isn't saying that Derrick Rose isn't a top 10 point guard in the league anymore.
Top 10. I don't know about top 10. I don't know about top 10, but I can't say top 10. I don't know.
Here's the thing.
He's not a bad point guard. Don't get me wrong, but top 10 to put him in top 10.
He's a great player. I'm not trying to disrespect Derrick Rose.
I'm not disrespecting him at all. But
he's a
I'm just
great
telling
player.
you.
He's just not
too many guards in the league now. To even put him in top 10. Really?
Yeah, there's way too many good quality guards.
Talking all time. You could probably make that case, but I don't know if it's top 10 of all time either. There's a lot of great point guards. Isn't
top 10 point guard of all time. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying though, there's a lot of point guards.
And this guy for someone who said that. This is something for someone who said that Derrick Rose, if he's healthy, would have easily been a top 5 point guard of all time. But
of course, we saw it.
Unfortunately, with what happened to him, I'm sorry, he's not top 10 all time. He's not even close.
Listen, when he was playing with Chicago, when he was playing with Chicago, yeah, he was a top 10 point guard.
Yeah,
he was gonna take off, but the injuries happened, It's uncertain. All that happened. So that really messed up his career from there. It's kind of hard to bounce back because even when he came back, he kept getting hurt. You know what I mean? That's something you can't control. So really, it's kind of hard to say because he was going to be a beast. And the season he had for the Knicks last year goes to show you the potential that he could have, but he's getting old. He's getting older and older. He's not getting younger. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of a hard case to say. I can't say he's top 10, though. I can't say that personally.
All right. We'll agree to disagree.
All right, all right. Is that all for your hot take, Michael?
Yeah. I had it on short notice.
I'm sorry, Michael, but again, that's just part of business. You got.
And Alex, me and you need to have a little talk off the air, brother. Me and you gonna have a little chat.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Rich.
All right. So you want at transition? It's the perfect transition to talk about NBA free agency. I mean, we gotta talk some NBA free agency here, guys. I mean, speaking of the Knicks, obviously we just recapped the Knicks signing Kemba Walker. The Knicks also, I believe just Julius Randle agreed to a contract extension.
Yes, he did.
I mean, that, in my opinion, is a little surprising. Because I'm not gonna say it's undeserved because Julius Randle had such an amazing year this year, but you look at how he performed in the playoffs. I mean, still think.
But I mean, you can't knock him for that though.
I'm not saying you can knock him.
Different ball game.
I mean,
off season,
I'm not saying you can
during the
knock
regular season, he had a good season though. You know what I mean? He definitely was he definitely worked good for us. He came up big, when stuff mattered most. I mean, the team is actually pretty good than a lot of people thought. Because I didn't think we were gonna actually be a playoff team. If you asked me that, I would have never told you that. You know what I mean? So Julius Randle had a bad playoff series, but if you think about it, that's when's the last time you've been in the playoffs? You know what I mean? So it's been a minute. It's not really easy to adjust to the playoffs yet. It's good that he got that little experience under his wing. So now when he comes in next season, he could be a little more prepared. Because now, look, and also we didn't really have a good team around him. If you think about it, we didn't have any shooters. So when he's getting double teamed like that, and the pressure's on the line, who are you gonna give the ball to? RJ, he couldn't really step up that much because he can't really shoot from from the three. And then we're relying on Reggie Bullock and all these other guys. You know what I mean? Sometimes shots aren't gonna fall, and then really you gotta give the Hawks credit because they really did put up a good fight. They made it tough for us, and Trae Young was just killing us. Small story. We couldn't stop Trae Young. So going back to free agency.
I'm sorry, Marcellus, I want to chime in there. What I think this says about the Knicks about Knicks locking up Julius Randle, it means I do not think they're good. If they are going to land a superstar, I don't think it's going to be the free agency route. I think if they land a
definitely
superstar,
going to be a trade.
It's going to be a trade. It's going to be
definitely
a trade.
Because we have a lot of assets that we can move. So
I think I have a lot of assets, and they have the Knicks are stockpiling assets, and I think the Knicks are looking at the future free agency landscape, and I think they don't see any big names hitting the open market. I think that's the way the Knicks are thinking. They're saying we don't see any big names that we think that we could potentially land. So instead let's lock up our young all-star long term. I think that's what the Knicks are thinking.
Well, no, I mean I can see what you're saying, but also I think Boston has the most cap space next year. Correct me if I'm wrong. Also, you got to think about it from Leon Rose's standpoint. I mean, that team made it to the playoffs last year, so you don't really want to mess up the chemistry that they have. So, I mean, it makes sense why you brought him back. But I just didn't see them bringing in Kemba, and for a year, I thought that was a pretty good move right there. I definitely want to see Kemba coming. So, I mean, I want to see how it works with Kemba. I mean, he's 31. Everybody's writing him off because of these injuries, but I think New York is a good spot for him to get back on track, I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Marcellus. I mean, Michael, you're a Knicks fan. Do you agree with what we're saying? Do you like the Julius Randle extension?
No, absolutely, man. He deserves it. You won the most improved player. Became an all-star this year. Julius Randle.
Well, obviously he deserves it, but do you think it's let me say, do you think it was a good move by the Knicks? And Do you think that what do you think it says about them potentially like landing a superstar?
And honestly, it could be. Honestly, we could land a superstar because if Randall has this is put up a shut up time. He last season. I thought, why we gave him this max contract if he ain't doing shit? He worked on his game. He worked on his craft. He became the most improved player. Became an all-star. Took the Knicks to the playoffs. It was the reason why we had that big stretch in the last 30 games of the season. It was the main reason. We were into the 8th seed and we came into the 4th seed. Point is, bros, I think they can land another superstar if through next season. We have the cap room. We can either trade and get rid of Peyton and Noel and the first couple draft picks for a new star. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely agree with you. I mean,
Who you guys think won free agency?
I mean,
A lot of
let's
the teams definitely improved.
a lot. I mean, it's been like a really wild free agency in my opinion. I mean, let's go over some other deals. I mean, Chris Paul heading back to Phoenix. That's kind of like a bit of It is surprising, but I don't think it's not surprising because Michael, you said before that you didn't think like Chris Paul was going to go back to Phoenix, didn't you?
I really thought he wasn't, honestly. But he really surprised me on that.
Yeah, I guess by then it's like I said before, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, Chris Paul has just been, like he's been on such a great run in like Phoenix. I mean, why fix what ain't broke?
Nah, I thought I kind of had a feeling Chris Paul was gonna go back because I mean you can't leave after the way they lost. They kind of have unfinished business, but I didn't think they was gonna lock him up until he's 40 years old though. So it's kind of interesting that they signed him for that long. But I also saw that the Pelicans offered him a similar type deal as well. But I mean, I knew he wasn't going there because I mean the Suns' roster is better constructed. I mean, I feel like so. I don't know. I think the Bulls won free agency, really. The Bulls, and you got to put the Lakers up there, really.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the team, the East improved a lot. East got very competitive, so it's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, also, the Heat, too. I mean, they landed Kyle Lowry, and they also landed Victor Oladipo, so Heat definitely, like, made some big moves. I mean, DeMar DeRozan heading to the Bulls in a sign trade. I mean, Lonzo Ball, like, extended the Bulls also sent Lonzo Ball to the Bulls. I mean, that's a big move. I mean, also, I I gotta talk about my Nets here for a minute. I mean, obviously Spencer Dinwiddie heading to the Washington Wizards. I mean, that's gonna be a big loss for us. That's gonna be like a really, really like. I mean, I didn't think he was coming back anyway, but obviously he missed the entire year with the last year with a torn ACL injury. But I mean, still he was such a great net. I mean, obviously like he was such a big part of like building the score. You know, when you think of like how the Nets got to this point, like I said before, the 2018-2019 team with D'Angelo Russell. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie. Cincinnati was like a big part of that core. So, I mean, so Spencer, if we're listening to this, I mean, as we all Nets fans salute you, we wish you the best in Washington. But yeah, that's a great move for Washington. After Trey Russell Westbrook, adding a guy Spencer Dinwiddie, that's definitely gonna help like that loss. Also, the next loss, I believe, Jeff Green. I forget where he signed, but yeah, where did Jeff Green sign again?
Jeff Green went to the Nuggets.
Oh yeah, the Nuggets. So But yeah, that's gonna be a really, really big loss for the Nets because Jeff Green was a big part of like our team. He was a big part of that bench because he was able to stretch the floor. He's able to be a stretch like 3 play stretch four for this team, and it was like a big like time player like off the bench. So that's gonna be a big loss for this Nets team that they're gonna that leaves another other that's gonna leave a void that they're gonna have to fill because the one concern we have for this Nets team, aside from the health of the big three, is do they have enough like wings and bigs? Do they have enough quality wings and eggs? That's the one like area of weakness with this Nets team. Now they did resign both Blake Griffin and Bruce Brown, so I'm super thrilled about that. Those are two key players of this team, like especially Blake Griffin with he's a big part of that team of our starting five. So I'm so happy to see him stay, and obviously Bruce Brown with he's the guy I said before who does all the little things like he's the type of guy that can play scrappy defense, can get you rebounds. Even though he's short, he can rebound like not kind of like a big man. Like he's like that. He's a really important piece for us. So I'm super happy we kept both those guys. But I'm gonna be honest, like as a Nets fan, like I still think like they need to aside from extending the big three, I still think they could use like one more piece. I still think they could use like one more either big or like wing to like try to fill the void of Jeff Green. But yeah, so before we get to our bets, which are probably gonna be very, very quick, Alex, do you have any? Do you want to talk about the 76ers in free agency? I believe they locked up Andre Drummond.
Yeah, they locked up Andre Drummond, and this tweet I found, it says Sixers backup center Andre Drummond on his beef with Joel Embiid. He said, "I think for me, there never was any real beef. It's just a game of basketball. We're both competitors in the way we play. Sometimes we talk." So at the end of the day, it's awesome to see them both compete together on the same team, and I'm really excited to see them be on the same team starting this season in front of one of the best fans in the NBA.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I definitely hear what you're saying. I mean, Andre Drummond, like he's a solid player, but I did think he was kind of exposed like during his time with the Lakers. I mean, I will say though, I do think he's a good backup for Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's a quality backup. So I still do like the sign. I mean, also I believe they got Danny Green back on a 2-year deal.
Yep.
I mean, if you have any thoughts on that.
That definitely is a big piece for the Sixers offense, and I think that he's going to be able to shoot the three better than last season. I think that since he was injured for part of the season, I think that this offseason is going to be very crucial for him to have the chance to rebound his injury and get going, and hopefully he can make some noise when the season comes.
Yeah, I mean, also some other free agents. We mentioned before about the Miami Heat. They also landed PJ Tucker. I mean, the Miami Heat, in my opinion, like they're really loading up. They got Kyle Lowry. They re-signed Jimmy Butler. They got and they just had PJ Tucker and Victor Oladipo. So the Miami Heat, they're gonna be like obviously the Nets are like gonna be the favorites to come out of the East, but like Miami Heat, if like the Nets like are unable to stay healthy, that's a team that could contend. Michael, I don't know if you guys agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also the Los Angeles Lakers, they land you got back Dwight Howard, so that's a big move for the Lakers. And they also land Carmelo Anthony. I mean, Michael, you're a
I was
Lakers
about to
fan.
say, you got to mention Carmelo Anthony, my boy.
Yeah.
That's my favorite player of all
Honestly,
time. Gotta
we hit
mention
the
Melo.
mother load. We hit the
Gotta
mother
mention Melo.
load.
They need to bring Melo a chip, and I hope they do. Melo deserves one. Definitely a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
Only thing he's missing, just a chip. That's it, Mike. That's all he needs.
I'm calling it now. Melo is winning a championship. To all the
He
Lakers,
needs to.
the L Nation in the building for L Nation, we are winning our championship. This is 20 years in the making, boys. Carmelo and LeBron teaming up. They've been friends since high school. This is 20 years in the making. It was supposed to happen a long time ago, boys, but it's coming. LeBron and Carmelo playing side by side. I've been waiting all my life for this, boys, since 2003. We are in 2021. This is 20, at least 19 years in the making. It's going to happen, baby. It's going to happen, baby. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited.
Yeah. So free agency news, some other
So, Adam, you don't think your Nets are gonna win it?
it depends. It depends again. I think if Kyrie, Harden, and Katie all stay healthy, I think we're the favorites. If
Right now you guys are the favorites. So then they have
Yeah.
LA right under you guys. So
Yeah. So yeah, some other free agency news. DeMar DeRozan. I believe I already mentioned that. Sorry about that. But one more piece of news. Trae Young agreed to a max contract extension. That's big for the Atlanta Hawks. John Collins
did too.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Hawks are
Gotta keep
gonna
them around.
that's gonna be like that Hawks are another like sleeper team. Like you saw the way they upset your Sixers, Alex. Hawks are gonna be like a sleepy team. Like you don't sleep on the Hawks.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be a very intriguing team to this season, and I think that Trae Young is on a different level. And
yeah, Trae Young, I think, is on his way to becoming a superstar. I think.
Wait, Alex, do you like
Yeah.
that? Do you like that Drummond signing? I need your honest opinion. I don't see the reasoning behind it, but I'll ask you.
I think it'll be a good piece to fit the Sixers offense. If MB goes down, he'll be right there to put him on his back. And I'm just excited to see what actually happens with Doc Rivers and his coaching. And I think that people don't really. I just think that everything will come together positive, and I think it's a good addition to the Sixers.
But Ben Simmons is definitely gone. That's what it sounds like. He's not even returning the calls.
Yeah, I actually saw a tweet a couple of minutes ago saying that Joel Embiid hasn't been talking to him, and I think it's going to really happen. And it's just sad from my perspective of being a fan of Sixers, but Ben Simmons just got to do what he's got to do and move on from this organization. And I think that it's going to be very interesting to see what the city of Philadelphia will bring once he leaves. It's sad, but at the same time, it's a good positive thing for Philadelphia to move on from him, even though he's been struggling offensively with shooting and don't get me wrong, I'll still be following him wherever he goes if he gets traded. It's just that I want to see him succeed, and it's going to take some time, but I think that once he gets a good fit with another team, and once he locks in, he's going to go off, and it might be another story to talk about, but for now, it's just waiting patiently to see what happens with him in the Sixers.
So, what seed do you think you guys will be this year? Philly. Top 5? What do you think? 6? What do you think? Because the East got very competitive. I mean, Chicago is a dangerous team. On paper, so a lot of teams improved. So
with how much teams have improved, I unfortunately, Alex, for your sake, I could see the 76ers taking a nosedive in the standings.
Yeah, I think they're second to Brooklyn. I just think that Brooklyn is going to be blasting off in the East this season. And I think that the Sixers, depending on their schedule, I think I see them finishing either second or third in the East. But that's just my perspective. But I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, a couple more before again. I want to get to our bets so we can wrap up this episode, but we still have some more moves to go over. I mean, Steph Curry agreeing to another 4-year, $200+ million extension. I mean, SF, I think all the reports surrounding him, potentially leaving Golden State, were all a bunch of BS. I always thought he was gonna. I think he's gonna remain a Warrior for his entire career. Or maybe at the tail end of his career he goes somewhere else, but I think he's gonna be a Warrior throughout the rest of his prime, I think. And one last note here: former net Jared Allen signs a 5-year, $100 million extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think that shows you I think it shows to as much as I love the James Harden trade, I told you at first I didn't like it, and the one reason I didn't like it was because we traded away Jared Allen. You can see why now with the contract he's got. The Cleveland Cavaliers know that he's gonna be a future. He's gonna be a top 10, top 5 big man in this league. I think.
If he works on his offensive game, then maybe.
All right. I mean, we could debate later, but again, we're running really low on time here, and we're all so we're gonna see it to our best. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, I haven't calculated the final scores from last episode, so I can't give you an update on the standings. So again, for all the updates on the standings, you can again, all our official outlets, you can check them at our Twitter page at Get Your Game on P Twitter page on Twitter. So definitely check that out. So we're just gonna go through our bets very quickly here, or so. I mean, Eli mentioned it. Just so you know, for Eli's bet, Eli's taking USA over Japan in the gold medal game. That's also we're gonna make that Chris's bet. So yeah, it's gonna be Chris's bet. So I'm gonna go first. Everyone, you can just shout out your bets really quickly. So I'm gonna I'm gonna follow. This might be original, but I agree with you that I'm gonna take USA over Japan in the gold medal game. Kind of unoriginal, but whatever.
For baseball or basketball?
For baseball. All right, so that's my bet. I mean, do we have David's bet?
Yeah.
Yeah. David's taking A's money line over the Rangers, so that's David's bet. Okay, Alex, go ahead.
I'm gonna pick Phillies money line.
Okay. Honestly, I don't blame you. I mean, Marcellus, you can go now.
I'm gonna take the USA women on the spread again against Serbia. It's -18.
Siberia.
Yeah, the USA.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the USA women over Siberia.
Gotcha.
Women's basketball.
All right, on the spread, I gotcha. All right, last up, Michael. You can, I mean, if you want, just go, Michael. Just go.
USA gold medal basketball game.
All right, USA. Who's USA playing in that game?
Hold on, give me a sec.
They're playing France. I just watched
All
the
right.
game earlier. Slovenia lost by a point.
Are you taking them on the money line or the spread?
The spread, baby.
Okay.
Gotta do a spread. Money line's absurd.
Okay.
We've got Chris's back.
Again, Chris's bet is USA. USA over Japan baseball gold medal game.
All right, boys.
All right. That's all for our bets. That's all for this episode. I mean, do you guys have any final thoughts? Again, it was great to have Eli on, and it was great to recap on NBA free agency. But I mean, do you guys have any final thoughts? That's it. This has been episode 35 of the Game Again podcast. Yours truly, Adam Grassani, Mike Cunningham, Alex Reich, Marcellus Murdock. Like we heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or review, or you may feature it in a future episode of Marathon. Don't assume your reviews just fancy. If you can imagine a world, believe in it and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.